Hello and welcome to today's math lesson. So first of all guys, can we all turn to wave and say a big hello to our friends on camera? Hello. And we can begin by doing our meditation sequence. So I will sit down, take 2 fingers, find our heart center, left hand on our laps and close our eyes. When you're ready guys, you can open your eyes and come back to the room. And next we can do our stretch sequence. So let's stand up and push in our chairs, and we can begin by stretching up high to the sky. High as we can. And then let's go down low. Touch our toes. And then we can go back up high one more time. And this time, can we go tippy toe high? And while we're there, let's have a wave side to side. And then back down to touch our toes once more. And then stand up straight and have a shake, guys. Arms and legs, shake it out. Hands on hips, and we can have a wiggle side to side. Wiggle side to side. Stop. And then another wiggle side to side. Stop. Forwards, backwards, forwards, backwards, forwards, backwards, and stop. And then we can go round and round. Round and round. And stop. And then back the other way. Round and round the other way. Give our spines a nice stretch. And stop. And to finish, guys, we will do 5 claps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excellent. Have a seat. So welcome to today's math lesson, where we've been doing a lot of work on angles. And who can remember, what did we do in the previous math lesson, guys?
Drawing angles.
Yes, we continued learning about drawing angles. So let's write that phrase on the board first. Drawing, D-R-A-W-I-N-G. Drawing, which means to draw an angle. And angles is spelt A-N-G-L-E-S. So all together, guys, drawing angles. And in the previous lesson, we learned about 3 more types of angles that we learned to draw. Can anybody remember what they were called? Anybody remember? The straight line. What type of angle has a straight line? Straight angle. Well remembered, guys. We had straight angle. S-T-R-A-I-G-H-T. Straight, as in a straight line. So the clue is in the name. With a straight angle, it represents a straight line. But then there was another type of angle whose size can change. Does anybody remember what the other type of angle was called? Reflex angle. Yes, a reflex angle. R-E-F-L-E-X. And once again, angle, A-N-G-L-E. Excellent. And then our final type of angle that we learned how to measure and draw looks like full rotation. And what shape does a full rotation always look like? Circle, correct. A full rotation angle is always a complete circle. We can say full rotation. Or you sometimes might hear the phrase complete angle. I'll write that too, because they both mean the same thing. If you hear the phrase full rotation angle or complete angle, it basically means the same thing. And what I'm going to do now that we have our 3 different types of angles written on the board, I'm going to give my students a marker pen and see if they can remember how to draw each type of the angle correctly. So let's see who can go first. Prao, come and join me at the front of class, please. So Prao gets first choice of an angle to draw. So Prao, we have 3 different types of angles on the board. What one would you like to demonstrate how to draw? Full rotation. Okay, so let's see what a full rotation looks like. A full rotation is a complete circle. And then the next part, what we want to do is we want to know how many degrees is a complete circle. Or always 360. Can it be more? No. Can it be less? No, a full rotation angle must always be 360 degrees. So all together, guys, full rotation, 360 degrees. Not more and not less. Okay? Prao, that was brilliant. High five and a big round of applause for Prao, please, guys. Okay, so Prao has demonstrated how we draw our full rotation angles, which are a complete circle. Let's see who can do our next type of angles. Let's see, who wants to go next? I know. Pat, come and join me at the front of class. So now Pat has 2 different angles to choose from. He can choose the straight angle or the reflex angle. Pat, which angle would you like to draw? Straight angle. Okay, so a straight angle, what does a straight angle look like, guys? Straight line, yes. So can you draw a straight angle for me, please, Pat? Brilliant. Okay, a straight angle is a straight line. But how many degrees must a straight angle be? Always 180 degrees. So Pat, you can write 180 degrees. And then don't forget your vertex in the middle to show where the angle goes. A full rotation doesn't have a vertex because it's a complete circle already. But what we need to know with the other angle is the vertex to show which way the angle is traveling. So all together, guys, straight angle, 180 degrees. Pat, that was brilliant. High five and a big round of applause for Pat too, please, guys. So that means we've got 1 type of angle left, the reflex angle. Now let's see who can come forward and demonstrate how to draw a reflex angle. Let go. Come and join me at the front of class, please. Now the reflex angle is any angle that is greater than 180 degrees but less than 360 degrees. So let go. Can you demonstrate how to draw a reflex angle? Okay, it's looking good. Now where will your vertex go? Will your vertex go here or here? Perfect, well done, Lackout. The vertex will go on the larger part of the angle, which goes on the outside. Because here wouldn't be a reflex angle. Here to here would be obtuse. Too small for a reflex. But this is big enough. But how many degrees will you say that reflex angle is? 240, looks good to me. So you can write the degrees, 240. And as we already know, the small circle is the symbol for degrees. So all together, guys, reflex angle 240 degrees. That gal, that was brilliant. High five and a big round of applause for that gal, please, guys. So that was a recap of the previous lesson where we learned how to draw the different types of angles. What we're going to do in today's lesson is we're staying with angles, but today we're going to be comparing angles. We want to know which angles are more than and less than right angles. So what we've got now is a PowerPoint presentation for our students to observe, listen to, and also practice speaking of how we can compare angles correctly. So let's all turn to look at the TV screen, please, guys. So let's take a look at our PowerPoint presentation comparing angles. Yes, because we've learned about all the different types of angles now, so we can decide which ones are greater than and which ones are less than. When comparing angles, we need to look at the size of each angle in degrees. Yes. Now, who can remember the name of this tool that we use for measuring angles? Beginning with P. Protractor. Yes. A protractor is a tool we use to see how big an angle is. Now look at the angle with the blue lines. Who can tell me how many degrees is the blue angle? 90 degrees. Now what type of angle is 90 degrees? Right angle. Brilliant. Well remembered, guys. A right angle is always 90 degrees. An angle between 1 and 89 degrees is known as an acute angle. Yes, okay? So the smallest types of angles, because 0 degrees is nothing. You can't have an angle 0 degrees. But 1 to 89 degrees, acute angles. They're the smallest types. Acute angles can be different sizes, but always less than 90 degrees. Okay, so now let's compare the acute angles here. Which one is the smallest acute angle? 12 degrees. Yes, 12 is the smallest, but who can tell me the largest?
71 degrees.
Yes. Are they both acute angles?
Yes.
Yes, they're both acute because they're less than 90. But when we're comparing them, we can see the smallest acute angle, 12 degrees, and the largest acute angle, 71 degrees. Well done, guys. And then, after the acute angles, any angle that is exactly 90 degrees is known as a right angle. Okay, so the right angle must always be 90 degrees. Can it be less? No. Can it be more?
No.
Correct. Right angle, always 90 degrees. But then, when we get larger angles, any angle between 91 and 179 degrees is known as an obtuse angle. Yes. So what we can see here, remember the last slide, we've seen the right angle, which was 90 degrees. Anything that's smaller than the right angle is the acute angles. But now we're going past 90 degrees, so anything larger than 90 degrees is obtuse. Yes, less than 90 degrees, acute, and 90 degrees is 90 straight right angle, and larger is obtuse. Obtuse angles can be different sizes, but always between 91 and 179 degrees. Yes. So here we have some obtuse angles. What's the smallest obtuse angle you can see? 94 degrees, yes. It's still obtuse because it's more than 90. What's the largest obtuse angle you can see? 168, yes. So after 94 degrees, what's the next largest?
105.
Then after 105?
112.
Then?
160.
And the largest one?
168.
Brilliant, guys. You see, you're comparing angles. Even though they're all obtuse, they're different sizes. But you're able to tell which are the biggest and which are the smallest. Any angle that is exactly 180 degrees is known as a straight angle. Okay? And a straight angle is two right angles together. A right angle, 90 degrees. Straight angle, 180 degrees. 90 plus 90. Okay? And a straight angle is always a straight line. So try to remember that. If somebody asks you to draw a straight angle, draw a straight line, and it's 180 degrees. And then, any angle between 181 and 359 degrees is known as a reflex angle. Yes. Now we're getting into the very big angles, almost the full rotations. What reflex angle can you see on the screen here? 230 degrees. Notice how the vertex is on the outside. The angle here, if it was on the inside, it wouldn't be reflex. The angle here would be obtuse. So for the reflex angles, we always need more than 180 degrees. Reflex angles can be different sizes, but always between 181 and 359 degrees. Brilliant, guys. Now, who can tell me the smallest reflex angle they can see?
192.
Perfect. And then, what's the largest?
266.
Yes, you see, 192 is a reflex angle. The shortest, the smallest one we've got here. And the largest one, 266. And then we come to the final angle. The largest one, that's a circle. Any angle that is exactly 360 degrees is known as a full rotation angle. Or you might hear it called a complete angle. Complete angle because you can't get bigger. You can't get bigger than a full circle. So 360 degrees is the largest angle we can make. By looking at the different angles, we can compare them, see what's greater and what's less. Any questions, guys?
No.
That was brilliant. Well done. Welcome back to class. We hope your students enjoyed the PowerPoint presentation so that they can recap about the different types of angles and how to compare them based on size according to the number of degrees for each one. Because even though both angles might be acute or obtuse or reflex, they can still be different sizes. The right angle must always be 90 degrees, the straight angle always 180 degrees, and the full rotation 360 degrees. And coming up now, we've got our stretch sequence, guys. So let's stand up and push in our chairs. And for this sequence, we'll begin with some rotations. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, good. Next, we'll do some stretches. Let's do 5 stretches to our right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very good, guys. And then let's do 5 stretches to our left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excellent. Next, what we'll do, we'll take our right hand and we'll find our left foot. Left hand, right foot. Right hand, left foot. Left hand, right foot. Right hand, left foot. And final one, left hand, right foot. And to finish this time, guys, we'll do 5 star jumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excellent, guys. Have a seat. So coming up now, we've got a board exercise for our students to practice how to compare angles based on a right angle. So what we're going to be looking to do is to see if the angles that we draw are acute or obtuse, and then have our students estimate the size of each angle. So to do the estimation, we need the tool that we use to measure our angles. Can anybody remember its name? Protractor. Okay, so a protractor will look like this. A semicircle for the protractor. And how many degrees will we start with at the bottom? 0. Well done. So 0 degrees, and a protractor will go to 180 degrees. So that means that at the top here is 90 degrees. And then we have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 degrees, all the way up from 0 to 90. And then 100, 110, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. Okay, so you can see we've got our protractor with all the angles marked out in stages of 10 degrees. But what we're going to be doing in today's exercise is comparing them based on a right angle. So how many degrees for a right angle, guys? The right angle will always be 90 degrees, correct. So let's see. Here's a line there, a line there. 90 degrees, okay? Always 90 degrees. What do we call the angles that are less than 90 degrees? Acute, well done. So we'll write acute here. And what do we call the angles that are more than 90 degrees? Obtuse. Okay, so we've got our 2 columns. We've got our right angle, which is 90 degrees, and then we've got an acute angle, and we've got an obtuse angle. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to draw a type of angle underneath the right angle. And then I want the student to come forward and decide if it's an acute angle or an obtuse angle, and draw it again in the correct column. And then together we can estimate the number of degrees. So now I'll go first with my first angle. So here we have 90 degrees. And now we have another angle underneath. But what we want to know is the angle I have drawn acute or obtuse. Very good. But now let's see who can show us if it's acute or obtuse. Dan, come and join me at the front of class, please. Okay, So down gets first go at comparing the angles. Here we have a right angle, 90 degrees. But look at the angle that I have drawn underneath. Down, is this angle greater than or less than 90 degrees? Less than. So does that make it obtuse or acute? Really? Acute, yes. So can you draw the same angle again in the acute section? Perfect. So now, together guys, how big do we think, use our protractor, how big do we think our acute angle is? From here to here, how many degrees? 10, 20, 30. What do we think? 40? 40 seem about right? Okay, down. So now you can do your vertex and 40 degrees. So the angle heads, yep, the vertex. Remember, for the small acute ones, they always go inside. And 40 with the degree symbol. Okay, so we can see that down has correctly demonstrated that this angle that I have drawn is an acute angle because it's less than 90 and estimated using the protractor about 40 degrees. Down, that was brilliant. High five and a big round of applause for down, please, guys. So teachers, you can see the activity that we're doing in our classroom now. Basically, what we're doing is drawing angles and asking our students to compare them and then estimate their size. So you can pause the video and do the same activity in your own classroom. And remember to choose a different student for each angle. And we're going to carry on playing some more here. So let's see who can go next. First of all, we need a new angle. So this time the angle will be okay. So now let's see who can do the next angle. Bangpon, come and join me at the front of class. Okay, so the first thing we want to do, we want to compare the angles. Is the angle I have drawn here, guys, greater than or less than 90 degrees? Greater than, correct. So does that make it an acute angle or obtuse? Perfect, it does. But now what we want Bangpon to do is to draw it again in the correct column, and then we'll try to work out how many degrees our obtuse angle is. Very good, Bangpon. Okay, that's looking good. So what we've got the angle that goes to here, and then how big do we think our obtuse angle is, guys, based on our protractor? If here is 90 degrees, say to around here or here. Okay, just an estimate to show. So we've got 90, 100, 110, 120, 130, 140. Exactly. So Bangpon, you can draw our vertex and then the number of degrees, 140, and the symbol for degrees. So all together, guys, obtuse angle, 140 degrees. Excellent. Bangpon, that was brilliant. High five and a big round of applause for Bangpon, please, guys. Okay, so now on to our next student and our next angle. But first of all, a quick wipe of the board. Now we've got another angle. So let's see who can tell us, compare it to the right angle and tell us what type of angle it is. Net, come and join me at the front of class. So teacher, I have drawn another angle here. Now do we think this angle, guys, greater than or less than a right angle? Less than. So Nadia, does that make it acute or obtuse? Perfect. It certainly does. This angle is less than 90. So Net, can you draw it again in the acute column? Brilliant, Net. Looks good to me. So now, who can estimate how big do we think our acute angle is? Have a look at the one Net's drawn, on teacher has drawn here. How big do we think it is on the protractor? 20. We start at 0, 10, 20. Looks about right to me. So Net, can you do your vertex and write 20 degrees? And then 20 with the degree symbol. Perfect. So we can say acute angle 20 degrees. Always less than 90, but you can see they can be different sizes. Net, that was brilliant. High five and a big round of applause for Net, please, guys. Let's do one more together before we move on to the worksheet activity. Okay, so now we've got another angle. So let's see who can do this and see whether it's greater than or less than a right angle. Pak Bung can come and join us at the front of class, please. Okay, so let's have a look at the angle that I have drawn. Let's compare it to the right angle. Is this angle here greater than or less than 90 degrees? Greater than. So what type of angle does that make it, guys? Acute or obtuse? Obtuse. Okay, so now we'll ask Pak Bung to draw the same angle in the obtuse column again. Brilliant. Well done, Pak Bung. So now, using our protractor, we need to estimate the size of the angle. So here is 90 degrees, but it's a little bit bigger. Do we think 100 degrees or 110? What do we think, guys? Here we have 90 degrees, so do we think this one is 100, 110, or maybe even 120? 110. Pak Bung, what do you think? Okay, then you can draw your vertex and a number of angles. 110 degrees. So you can see we have obtuse angles of different sizes, but always more than 90 degrees. So together we can say obtuse angle 110 degrees. Pak Bung, that was excellent. High five and a big round of applause for Pak Bung, please, guys. And now it's time for our worksheet part of the lesson. So teachers, make sure every student in your class gets their own worksheet. And what we've got on today's worksheet, similar to the board exercise we've just been doing, we've got a series of angles already drawn on the worksheet. What we want our students to do is look at them in relation to a right angle. If it's larger than a right angle, we want them to write greater and the number of degrees they think it is. Obtuse angles are the ones that are greater. For angles that are less than, acute angles. And using the protractor, try to estimate how many degrees. So greater than obtuse angles, less than for acute angles. And some of the angles are right angles. So if it's a right angle that you see, 90 degrees, and you need to write the vocabulary equal to. Understand, guys? And the first thing to do, write your names on top. So remember, more than 90 degrees, greater than. Less than 90 degrees, less than. And if it's 90 degrees, a right angle, equal to. So Net, this one's for you. You're welcome. Pak Bung for you. Pat, here's yours. You're welcome. Nadia for you. You're welcome. Chu for you. You're welcome. Down, here's yours. You're welcome. Lau for you. You're welcome. Lakau for you. You're welcome. And Bangpon, you're welcome. So names on top first, guys. Then have a look at the angles on your worksheet. Remember, you're comparing based on 90 degrees. If it's more than 90 degrees, you need to write greater than. And also, try to estimate the amount of degrees you think it is. If it's larger than 90, it's greater than. If it's less than 90 degrees, an acute angle, less than. But if the angle that you see on your worksheet is a right angle, it's 90 degrees, you can write equal to. And using the protractor, try to estimate the size of each angle. Don't worry, it don't have to be exact, just to get you practicing estimating the size of angles. So the first one, excellent net. The first one is greater than 90 degrees. So we say greater than. And I think that angle would be about 120 degrees, or maybe 110. And if you need any help, guys, let me know. Teachers, just monitor the class, help your students with anything they need. And remember, the right angle can look different sometimes. It doesn't always have to be like this. Like you'll see right angles on your worksheet, or like this, but still 90 degrees. Equal to. Brilliant. Well done, Bangpon. That's equal to. So with this one, sometimes what we need to do, change the worksheet upside down. And then you can see, try to work off the straight line. So this angle is less than. Sometimes it might help to turn your worksheet around, guys. Greater, perfect. But now, if we turn our worksheet around, we can see that this angle is less than 90 degrees. Doing well, guys. Good to see your understanding. And we remember that one. The straight angle, the straight line. Yeah, on the outside. So it's a lot greater than. Yes. Smaller than, less than, same thing. Welcome back to class. We hope your students enjoyed the worksheet exercise where they had to compare each of the different angles on the worksheet in relation to a right angle and decide if it's greater than, less than, or equal to. And to ask our students to estimate the size of angles in degrees too, which gives them a good way of practicing how to create their own angles. My students here all did an excellent job. Guys, that was brilliant. Well done. And that brings us to the end of today's lesson. So we hope you've enjoyed it and found it interesting and now understand how to compare angles based on a protractor and a right angle. We'll see you again soon for the next lesson. So can we turn to wave and say goodbye, guys? Goodbye. See you again soon.